For those not in the online artist sphere, Artfight is an art gifting game that takes place every July. Artists all around the world gather for this event where they pick a team and attack their opponents with art of their characters. It's really fun to do, and I've always found this gesture to be really sweet and welcoming. It really makes us artists feel like one big community, you know? Obviously it's nice to receive art of my characters myself, but I'm really in it to see other people's reactions to what I make. This year I decided to crochet my submissions and figured it would be a fun video topic, so let's go over how that went. Hey y'all, my name is Biscuit and welcome to my channel, Binky and Biscuit. This video will serve as a summary of the works I made on Artfight in 2025. Like I said earlier, I decided to crochet my submissions this year for Team Crystal. I made a bunch of mini desk buddy dolls of people's characters. I did this for a few reasons. Number one, I would like to take commissions of this style of doll, and I need to make sure my pattern is sound as well as have example pieces ready. Number two, people on Artfight seem to really appreciate getting crafts. Obviously art is always nice, but seeing your character in a 3D medium always invokes a different feeling, you know? Number three, I just like sending gift packages to people, and this gives me an excuse to do that, so don't judge me. Regardless, I made a ton of these, so I'm gonna quickly go over each one of the dolls by talking about generally my thought process behind each doll, and my history with the person it was made for. I'm not gonna go super into what they're made from, since they're basically just acrylic yarn I had in my stash. So with that, that's enough babbling. Let's get started. First off, we got a doll of the character Cosmic Latte. This character is one I came across by pure chance while browsing the site. Her design was pretty simple, so I decided it would be a great starting off point for this endeavor. She belongs to the artist Naki, who is someone I haven't met prior to this whole project, so I decided I had to do my best to impress them. Being my first doll using this pattern I made, I think I did a pretty good job. I wasn't totally comfortable with my style yet, hence why she doesn't have a mouth, but I carry some aspects of this doll into my other dolls, like the use of embroidery floss for the face details. These dolls generally range from 5.5 to just under 6 inches tall, so I need a small fiber to really get in those details. Naki was kind enough to draw me something in return too. I made this adorable drawing of me and Binky, so thanks again Naki. I ended up actually sending this doll to them as well, so little Cosmic Latte is in a good home. On to the next doll, we got kind of a funny one. This is a doll of the character Andy, who belongs to Dollzilla. Andy in his lore apparently is a doll maker, which is why I say it's funny. He has transformed into what he sought to create, a marketable plushie. I came across this character because Dollzilla was kind enough to make me this piece of my character Aspen first, so I made this doll for them in return for their efforts. I got quite a few people actually who randomly gave me art, and sadly I wasn't able to get back to everyone, whether that be because I didn't have time or wasn't confident enough in my crochet skills for the characters they had. But Andy here was one I had a lot of fun making. He was the first doll on this journey who had hair, so I had to figure out how to translate my style of hair into a smaller scale like this. That was my main challenge, but it was a lot easier than I made it out to be in my head. But still, he required a lot of detail, so that brings me to my next doll. I wanted to make a simpler character to relax myself a bit, so I chose to make this stick figure character I found while browsing. Her name is Messy. I think I'm saying that right, and she belongs to Transmissions album. I found her to be super cute and easy to put together since I had a star-shaped button already. I kinda messed up the blush on this one. I wanted it to be more blue than purple, but since it already stained the yarn I couldn't go back and fix it, so I just rolled with it. Hopefully it looks alright. I ended up sending this doll to Transmissions album as well, so it is also in a loving home. After that, I made another stick figure-like character I happened upon. This one is named Benny and belongs to the user Mercetti. This doll was fun since it was the first time I got a chance to use felt on one of these projects. The original character had these wing-like scarves, which didn't look good in yarn no matter how hard I tried, so I just cut pieces of felt to make the scarf. However, as a consequence, this doll's backside looks really bad, but hey, you only see him from the front, right? But that's enough stick figures for now. The next doll I did was actually for a good friend of mine rather than someone I met through Artfight, and that is from my pal Mozart. With them, I made a character that they draw rather often, and that is this one based off of Feyd-Rautha from the Dune series. I think this character is also named Feyd-Rautha, but I'm not entirely sure. Regardless, this doll was a tad tricky because I had to work with a lot of black yarn. For those unfamiliar, black yarn is the hardest yarn to work with, since it's hard to see your stitches in dim light. So the entire time I was making this doll, I had my ring light blasting in my eyes, which kinda hurt. It was probably terrible for me, but hey, I got it done. Now admittedly, at this point, I've been doing dolls that don't challenge me too much, and I could whip together in a span of like a day tops. But this one I wanted to challenge myself a little bit more, and I came across this character by Currynan, and figured it would be fun to play with some embroidery for the galaxy details. Also, I wanted to practice my pattern with a furry character, so it worked out perfectly. Well, sorta. I wasn't really all that happy with the results of this doll. It's hard pulling from an animal reference when you're making a humanoid, but I definitely learned a lot while making this, so I don't regret making this doll at all. Also, Curry Nam seemed to appreciate it despite my reservations. I just felt I didn't do that good of a job with the embroidery on this one, and also the shape it seems a little off. I ended up being able to send this doll to them as well. Now here's a doll I really like the look of. I really love the character designs this person makes, so maybe that's why I'm so fond of it. This is the doll I made of the character Bear Trap, who belongs to Rotten Skulls. I happened upon this person's art when I was looking at another character of theirs who was a bit out of my skill level, but I wanted to show my appreciation for their art in another way, so I chose to make this guy instead. He's totally out of my usual color palette I tend to gravitate towards. Most of my yarn is some random hue of pink I'll never use, but I managed to think up some grays and greens for this guy. It was out of my comfort zone for character making, so that's probably for the better. Maybe that's another reason I like this doll so much. This doll was sent to Rotten Skulls and is now in a loving home. They're also super kind enough to draw this picture of my character Aspen in return. Thanks again! After that, we're on to the final doll of this little journey, and that is I chose to make a doll for the user Noel Ashes. This is someone I made art for last year and came across again because they had a little stamp on their profile I just couldn't ignore. That art is of Emma from a game called Turtlehead Unmasked, which is a game I was the lead director of a few years back. It was my first ever major project to hit it off, so it made me really happy to see that there's fans out there in the wild. Maybe I'm playing the favorites game with this one, but whatever, who's judging? I chose to make their character Rain, who is another furry. I was nervous about fumbling this one too, especially with how odd the shape of the tail is, but looking past it, I got to work and I came out with this. I like this doll a lot actually, and I think I improved upon what I didn't like about the last one. I'm especially in love with how I did the hair. The little braid is very cute. But with that, here's where I close the curtain on my Artfight journey for the year. Let's look at some statistics. Overall, I accumulated 971 points for Team Crystal. In terms of what I crocheted, I did 6 attacks on the opposing team and 2 friendly fires, meaning I made 2 attacks for people on my team instead. And finally, I received 7 lovely pieces of art. Again, I want to thank everyone who made something for me, even if I didn't get to crochet you something in return. Artfight was a ton of fun this year, and I definitely ended up doing more than a year prior. I'm excited to see next year's theme, as well as hopefully being able to participate if I have the time. At the time of recording this, the final results have not been announced for which team won, but GG either way if Crystals wins or loses. What matters in the end is that we enjoyed our participation in the event, I think. I know this was a shorter video than normal, but I hope y'all enjoyed it regardless. If you aren't subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you folks in the next video. Bye bye now!